Welcome, YouTube friends and family, to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader. I'm talking like somebody's still asleep, and I probably should be because it's not even 5 o'clock yet. But some nights I sleep well, and some nights I don't. So today I want to share a couple things with you. First and foremost, I want to share a little update on Miss Wynonna, who's now a big girl, and we're going to cook up her mini eggs. And also we're going to do an unboxing because, y'all, my crock pot went on to the great crock pot heaven in the sky. So it wasn't new by any stretch of the imagination, but I got a new product and I want to share it with you. Haven't tried it yet, so we're going to unbox this together. So I hope that you'll stay tuned. In the community post, Miss Wynonna has now laid 2 eggs, actually. So this is a typical egg from, I think, either Jolene or Fancy Ray, one of the barred rocks, because the black Australorp eggs are very shiny and a little bit different. That wasn't a good noise. Don't even know what that was, but we'll figure that out later. So are you all ready? Y'all ready to see Miss Wynonna's egg? All right, here you go. So y'all, it's a little bigger than, what a quail egg would be, but very, very small. So I told her, I'm like, girlie, you're going to have to lay like 16 of those because I like me my morning scrambled eggs. So I may have had that on a little bit too long. It doesn't feel too hot. So I am going to show you because I haven't eaten any of them yet. What Miss Wynonna's beautiful first egg looks like. You got to celebrate your girly girls. Ooh, that's a hard shell. Good girly, Nona. Oh, is that like the cutest little eggy you've ever seen? So there you go. Ooh, there you go, guys. So it's not as small as what I thought. It's got a nice big yolk. And I know you're supposed to scramble eggs in a dish first, but that just makes more dishes to wash. One of her little bitty eggs is not going to be enough for me. I'm going to say you're going to need double the amount of eggs at the size she's laying right now. So what I learned, because I was getting worried and I kept checking her behind because I thought, well, maybe she's egg bound or something. Because I got her in May and this is now October. She was supposed to be 16 weeks old. Yeah, no, that was not the case at all, y'all. I mean, she might have been 6 weeks old, but if she was born in March, it was about time for her to lay, because after I looked it up, I found out that silkies don't lay until 7 to 9 months. So she was like all up in the big girl's business. Every time they would go, and she's big enough now to get into the big poop, nighttime poop. Every time she was like so nosy. And, I was looking at her hind end and she was like, do you mind? But I'm happy to say she just did it. And she didn't make a lot of hullabaloo about it. So let me scooch it back. Oops, I didn't get a fork, did I? Hang on, guys. Y'all, it's time for me to get back into my bread baking. I kind of took a little break from it. I have been purchasing, oops, I didn't get that sealed, organic thin slice bread because it helps with carbs if you're watching your carbs, which I do from a diabetes standpoint. So they didn't have my normal, so they sent me brown berry. I ordered my groceries. Organic thin slice, 22 whole grains and seeds. And this only has 12 carbs a slice. I've learned that you don't need two, you only need one. And how many of you all like ketchup on your eggs? Ketchup and cheese. And if you wonder what I seasoned with, it was seasoned salt. So let's give it a taste and see if her eggies are as good as I think they'll be. Sorry, I shouldn't have taken the toast bite. I'm starving, y'all. Do you ever wake up and have days where you're just really starving? And I'm about to sneeze. So today's one of my hungry days. So I'm gonna eat breakfast. Then I'm gonna share with you the product that I purchased to replace my crock pot. It is a crock pot, but it does a couple extra things that I think I'm going to appreciate because I use my crock pot a ton in the winter. So stay tuned. I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, y'all. Well, just a little update before we start opening this on our weather. If you're wondering why all of a sudden I'm in long sleeves and breeches, we are having a 3-day cool down with highs in the low 50s and lows in the 30s or around freezing. We actually have a frost and a freeze warning upcoming. One day it's only going to be 32. So yesterday, I'm proud to say, I emptied out my hoses, covered my spigot, and it just did a couple odds and ends that still needed to be done. I have not harvested all my loofah and my birdhouse gourds because they're not fully ready. And if they freeze, they'll thaw. I think they'll still be okay. I may learn a lesson from it, but I have about 5 loofah that are fully ripened, to the brown point that I've pulled off, and I've got them stored out of the view of the kitchen just because Frankie thinks they're toys because they rattle. So back to the crock pot situation. So I have to tell you all, just being fully transparent, I've never been totally pleased with the Hamilton Beach crock pot. Now, my son has the same crock pot. He loves it. The reason I don't like it personally is because I feel like it cooks too hot. So it could just simply be the actual crock pot that I had, but eventually it burned itself out. So I'm like, I'm going to wait until Amazon Prime Days, and I'm going to find, as I often do, a multi-use appliance that will maybe circumvent some of the problems that I have with using a crock pot. So for example, let's say you want to make a beef roast, and maybe, potatoes and carrots. Well, to really have that delicious flavor, for me, I think you need to pre-brown it, which means you need to dirty your stove, you need to dirty a skillet, And the Instant Pot, while I like it, and I certainly use it, it's very small. And it's not conducive if you have a pretty good sized roast to browning. I've also found with the Instant Pot, and this might just be a me thing, that the sear feature causes things to stick horribly, and it's just not my favorite appliance, so I will usually go to the frying pan or a skillet. So here's what I got, y'all. Let me tip you down. Shortcut problems. Pardon my hand. I have been impressed with all of the Ninja products. So I have a Ninja air fryer, and I have the Ninja Creamy, which makes ice cream. I haven't used it as much as I thought I would, simply because of the problem that I have with consuming sugar, with diabetes, but I need to get back to using it a little more. So this is called the Foodi Possible Cooker. It's an 8.5 quart. If y'all remember my Hamilton Beach, it's a pretty good size. It was a pretty good size crock pot, so I wasn't terribly put off by the size. What I was impressed with was all the functions. And guys, all I've done is cut the box lid. I haven't even opened it. So you can sear and saute directly in the pot. That's what I really like about it. So I won't have to dirty a skillet every time I want to sear meat so that it's browned before I put it in the crock pot. You can also, if you see it's like a two-piece thing, you can pull this off and it's oven safe. So you can finish it off in the oven. It says perfect for entertaining, chili for up to 20 people. Yeah, that's how I generally make soup. Hope y'all are laughing with me. I always over make soup. 9 pounds of spaghetti and meatballs. Y'all, I'm not a big spaghetti meatball fan. Pulled pork for 30 sliders. So this would be really good for entertaining, or if you want to do food prep and freeze some individual meals, I think this will be great. So it says it replaces 14 appliances. A slow cooker, a steam oven, we'll have to look into this, a food warmer, which would be nice, non-stick pot, which would be very nice because if y'all have a Instant Pot, it is not non-stick, a saute pan, yes, a cast iron skillet, we'll see about that, a saucier, I'm not sure what that means other than you can make sauces in it. I don't speak French. Steamer, saucepan, stock pot, Dutch oven, roasting pan, bread maker, and we won't use it for that, I don't think. And an integrated spoon, so it snaps into the lid. And I think that's a really neat feature. So it comes in several colors. It comes in like a maroon or a burgundy, but of course I chose the blue. All right, I don't know if I can lift this out off the counter. I may have to drop it on the floor. So opening it up, we've got all the goodies. Our safety instructions, and it looks like a little cooker book. Yeah, cooker. It's called a Ninja Foodi Possible Cooker Pro. 15 recipes plus charts for unlimited possibilities. I can use all the help I can get. So here's our lid. Ooh, I like the lid. Y'all, let me drop this down on the floor so I can actually show you. Careful on the back, Kim. Okay. So the lid, I really like the lid. Let me show you this. I'm sure this has to do with how you snap in the spoon. It's a glass lid, which was the same as my Hamilton Beach, but it has a sturdier handle. And I think it'll be really nice in the oven because it's metal and glass, so it should work just fine. If you need to cover what you're cooking, here's our little spoon. Has a little notch on the back. Well, that's kind of lame. That you can set it. Sorry, guys. You can set it in the top. I guess it's not lame. I just figured it would snap a little better, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Y'all, once you've determined your appliance works, we're on a burn ban still because of the drought. These things are great for starting campfires. You know, just tear them up. Yeah. So it doesn't end up just in the landfill. All right, here we go, guys. Oh, well, that was easy. It's not very heavy. That makes me happy, too. One of the things about the current crock pot I had was super heavy. So let's go ahead. I just want to make sure this isn't boo-booed. No, it's not. The box was a little smashed. So this is like a roasting rack. Oh, that's nice. See, it has little feet on it, so it's not just setting in the juices. Is that box for Frankie? Is it? Okay, here we go. Mom, push it over here. Yeah. All right, so here is our inner liner. Ooh, y'all, I like this. I don't have a lot of non-stick cookware. In fact, I might have like virtually none. So I have to be really careful. And that's good that the utensil is right at hand so that you're not tempted to stick something metal into it. But it's a pretty good capacity. But honestly, guys, it's not really any bigger than what I did have, but it's even blue. So you could, in theory, roast something in this with if you wanted to do it conventionally in your oven. So let's go ahead and, ooh, so fancy, y'all. I like that it's sturdy without being overly crazy on the weight. So this is what the inside looks like. So it must be when the pot sits on it, then you can set it to do different things. And I haven't washed any of this, but let's go ahead and plug her in. Okay. I'm gonna have to reposition the camera just a touch, but I think we can do it without having to move everything. There we go. So I usually play with it before I read the instructions. Probably not the smartest thing. So here's a power button. So it has slow cook. I wonder how you get it to go down. Oh, there you go. Sear and saute, steam, keep warm. And that is a very nice feature. If things cook a little faster than you want them to, you can just put it on keep warm and it doesn't dry out or overcook your food. Okay, how do you get to the other side? Okay, there you go. Sous vide, which if you've never sous vide anything, my son actually got me a sous vide and I've never used it, but it's a way to slow cook meat inside of a vacuum sealed package, and it comes out so tender. He does a lot of pork that way. You can braise, you can bake. Oh my gosh, it even says proof. It has settings for temperature, time, start and stop. Proof is 95. So, you know, my oven has a proof setting, but y'all, this might overall use a lot less electricity. It's going to heat up faster and it's going to pull less electricity. So I am overall impressed with the Ninja. What y'all think? So now that we know it's all in one piece and it appears to work, let's just, ooh, they have focaccia bread. They have a roast. Ooh, they have a cheesecake. Why do I always navigate towards the desserts? I don't know. So let me turn this off because that is it. Oh, it says bye. Oh, this is nice. It has recipes. It has, ooh, some good ones too. Buffalo chicken mac and cheese, barbecue pulled pork, braised. And I have some pork in the freezer I would like to use as well. Chicken pot pie. Ooh, I've been craving chicken pot pie. Okay, okay. Huh, this is pretty interesting. You can actually, take it. Cook your chicken and your veg. This looks like they're saying rotisserie. So it's kind of a shortcutted, but you know, I'm all about shortcuts sometimes if you can find rotisserie chickens on sale. You can put a prepared pie crust on it and bake it. So I think this is going to be a great addition. I need a little time to get acquainted. I need a name for New Blue, I guess. But with my surgery upcoming this week, I don't know if I will get to it before I actually have my surgery. So it is still very dark outside. It's 5:20. I'm not going to go do chicken chores until it's a little bit lighter. And I also am going to try, y'all. I'm going to try. I probably should wash that before I put it away. In fact, I will. Let me. Oh, you like my hand? I'm so sorry. Professional YouTuber here. I try to laugh at myself. I hope y'all do too. I want to make as I often do, something special for Halloween. We'll just call it Halloween because I've made creepy things like skeleton head pizzas and the horrible hand charcuterie board. But this year, so far at least, I'm not going to do that. But I have an idea for a really good recipe. Now, it's not something I'll be able to eat, but I can take it to the dentist because I like doing things like that. I can share with my bestie who's going to be taking me to my appointment. So this is a preview, y'all. That's why this huge bowl is out. And if you're wondering, yes, my leggings have spiders on them. So let's see if you can guess. I have marshmallows and Rice Crisps. Rice Krispies, right? But I also have M&Ms, Oreos, and fall sprinkles. So I found a recipe where you add all of those things to Rice Krispie treats and you actually make the marshmallow part. You use more marshmallows than a typical Rice Krispie treat because you're putting in more quantity and they are more ooey gooey, pull apart. And after I thought about it, I thought, you know what would be really good is to make the brown butter Rice Krispie treats because those have a salty element to it. And I think that will help balance all the sweetness. So that's the plan, guys. I'll share some with, as I said, dentist, friend, neighbors, kind of a thing. I'll taste it when we make it. I'm hoping, y'all, to make it before my surgery. My surgery is not until 1:30 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, and I'm going to be a little antsy about it. I'm not scared of the dentist, but I mean, who's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to have a surgery and wake up in pain and swell up. Yeah, not me. So I will plan to see you, Lord willing, before my surgery, and we'll get to making these very special treats. Now, they are not diabetic friendly. As I said, I'll taste them, but I don't plan to see how much of them I can eat. I've been really working, y'all. If you remember when I was on the Trulicity for the diabetes, I lost a bunch of weight, guys. It's kind of like an Ozempic product, so it's a GLP-1. I had horrid nausea, was not fun. It would not be a medication I would take by choice, but now my sugar and my hemoglobin A1C has come down enough that I can control it with diet. So I've been working. I know y'all probably can't tell. I'm still overweight. Actually, I think I'm still in the obese range, but I don't want to check that, body mass index thingy. I've lost about 16 pounds of the 22 I had gained back. So I'm getting down there, and I want to keep that up. I want to be eating healthy. I want to be making wise choices, and we're coming up to the holiday season where there's a lot of treats. Now, I probably won't do much for Thanksgiving because I don't have any family here, and my son works on Thanksgiving. Christmas is probably the hardest thing, like the Christmas crackers. And my son asked me last night, he was like, can you make a pecan pie on your channel? I'm like, well, I can, and he had some suggestions. The problem is, son, I can't eat it. And he was like, well, you can bring it to me. And I'm like, okay, that's like a 7-hour round trip, but okay. You do things for your kids, right? So I hope all of you that were affected by Hurricane Helene and all of the flooding, I hope you all are getting the assistance you need. You are in my daily thoughts and prayers. I just can't hardly watch it on the news. It's just overwhelming, the loss of life, just the challenges people face. So count your blessings, if not. And I will plan to see you all a little later this week, Lord willing. So if you do me a big favor, go ahead and smash that like button. Drop me a comment below. What do you think of the Foodi Possible? Do you think it's a good replacement for a crock pot? Because I will just be honest, it's about 3 times 4 times the cost of a regular inexpensive crock pot. When I buy appliances, I do try to buy the best model I can afford that makes sense for me. So yeah, I'm not all about the name brand, I'm more about the function. So until I see you again, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.